Welcome to Deep Thought, the challenge of being authentic. Now, my last two podcasts, the first one this week, I talked about that facade that many people put on, how it doesn't really work for you. Then I talked about the worst lie that people will tell, which is to themselves. But the reality out here is that people have a challenge being authentic. They really do. It's tough. It's tough. Let's be real. Let's be real. If you that person out here who's totally truthful, totally honest, people can't deal with them. Because first of all, honesty don't mean tact. That's one of the things. Honesty doesn't necessarily mean tact, right? Because if you totally honest, totally authentic with somebody, you can hurt their feelings. And people don't want to do that. We do. Come on. And seriously, that's the toughest thing. You don't want to tell a person, you got a person, they might have low self-esteem or something. They fix up a little bit and they're all right to you. You don't want to be like, oh, no, you still ugly. Oh, you still got a jacked up personality. It's hard, especially as a stranger. Now, you get some people who get skilled who can still be authentic and tell them in such a way, a tactful way. But, it could be tough. Like, you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, so you might not give them the full brunt of what's actually on your mind, or you might not tell them anything. So that's tough. So, and that's just in the realm of just being nice to another person, But you have a whole culture that wants you to behave a certain way. When you go on jobs, there's a certain, you can't really just call it just the culture of a job. Like, all jobs have a culture, but, certain rules, certain things, because you got to worry about where you step. You might not want to look that manager in the eye and tell them that they're jacked up, because you don't know, they might come back and write you up or find something about you. So you're concerned about your job. So, like, a lot of times you go on a job, you got to toe the line, You got to toe the line in religious places. Well, most people. I remember a time when my step-grandfather, we were in church and the minister started talking about something and said something, and my step-grandfather got mad. He stood up. And said, well, hold up. You ain't talking about this and that. I was like, shoot. Now, he was totally authentic. He was actually a fairly authentic dude. He's a fairly authentic man. So, but most people, that's going to be a challenge. Because, like I said, we live in a world that actually rewards bullshit-ass behavior. Lying. Our politicians, everyone. Politicians don't like all those babies they kiss, or, politicians tell you one thing, and then when they get in office, they do something totally different. I had thought about getting in politics one time, but I was like, nah, it's hard to be just totally honest as a politician, right? But that's part of the culture. A lot of it is. If you're working in sales and stuff, you can try to be as authentic as possible, but, sometimes you might have to smile when you don't feel like smiling. Or if you did, another thing is customer service, right? You're doing customer service. Sometimes you get that cool customer, but sometimes you get that customer, you want to curse them out. They out acting obnoxious, but you guys still be smiling and stuff. And so you get it all around you. Jobs, sometimes in families, you might have to hold your tongue. And it's tough. It is tough. It is tough. Really, if someone can be authentic 80% of the time, they're really extraordinary. They're really extraordinary. Like, really say what's on their mind. Now, I'll say from a personal perspective, I'm in a position now where I can be more authentic. But then I run into that problem I was saying at first. Sometimes some stuff you want to say, you like, oh, can I just tell this person they just fucked up? you might have to you searching for words to tell them in a nice way, because basically, you don't want to hurt their feelings. Now that's my personal biggest challenge. Now I can be blunt, and I've learned how to be tactful in saying what I have to say, but it's still tough. It's still tough because you ain't constantly trying to hurt somebody. But that's my biggest challenge. Otherwise, I can I just let them know if it ain't no thing. I tell them exactly what's on my mind. But then you still gotta think about where you at and where you located and everything, and you gotta deal with it on that level. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and then an even bigger challenge. Oh, the thing that really impacts that challenge is most of us. Oh, well, I'm gonna say us. I'm not the guru. I'm still climbing. I'm still working on that authentic thing. I'm trying to get that to 100%, but I ain't there at 100%. But the reality that us are living a lie, or have some facade up. Now, like I say, from a personal perspective, because of the freedom I have now, any facades I had are down, outer facades, and I don't lie to myself, so I'm good to go there. That's one thing. I'm totally honest with myself. Totally 100%. If you gotta be authentic, be 100% authentic with yourself. Even if you are type of putting on a facade out here, at least be honest with yourself. Look your mirror and say, nah, this is what I am. And this is what I gotta work on. All right? But as far as the facades, because look, that's one of the reasons I'm totally self-employed now. I had to put on a facade on a lot of jobs. I had to hold back because I would get in trouble when I would show my true self. I would get in trouble. Like I said, I've sat in human resources offices more for actually about to get into it with like managers and coworkers. And there's been jobs, there's actually been jobs when I've been cursing out a manager like loudly. I was on one retail job, and me and this one manager, it was a woman too, we got in like yelling matches because she came at me wrong. Like screaming matches. Almost got fired because I made a statement that sounded like a distinct threat. So, so it's like, but you get on that stuff, man. It's a challenge because how many of us have been on some job and we had to stifle ourselves, or we had to play like some game to get along, some political game. And it's a challenge. It's a constant challenge. And like even for myself, yes, I'm more free than most people, but even then, you still gotta get along with some stuff. So that's still a challenge. And it's tough. And the only thing I can say to it is really still work on being as authentic as possible. I mean, I'm going to tell you what. Everybody, like people, like dealing with the outside world, it's tough when you're dealing with other individuals. And it's really come down to that, like, well, maybe you don't want to hurt their feelings, or, just going along to get along in a particular environment, right? But, start first with just being honest with yourself. Be authentic with yourself, if nobody else. And then at least present your true self to a person. At least present it. Now, how you interact with everybody now, that's different. That's when sometimes you might have some stuff you got to deal with or you got to put on. But to the greatest extent possible, at least look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm authentic. And, and what you show to people, at least, okay, this is me. Now, how they respond to and all that, that's something else, And then just getting along and, depending on your job, too. Yeah, I especially feel for the customer service people. Whenever somebody giving good customer service, I know what they got to go through, so I always show appreciation. I will even tell them, there was some great customer service. There are times I will answer those surveys and everything because I know how tough it is. Because I say, they might have it easy with me, but that next person probably be calling them every name in the book. And some people know about that. People be getting cursed out, everything. So anyway, there's that challenge of being authentic. So work on it. It's an everyday thing. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace.